Hello and welcome to the Kaijus and the Details, a chronological examination of the Kaiju film. I'm Iain.
I'm Haru.
This time we watched the 1961 UK film, Konga. Haru, what did you think of this film?
Oh, this is one of the best movies we've ever watched so far. It tells a tragic tale of a tragic love story between a professor and his student, and how love knows no bounds, and how a giant gorilla will just come and fuck it up.
That's true.
Actually, no. This movie was horrible.
I'm of two minds of it. I'm like, is this movie bad or is it intentionally funny, right?
Yeah, it's got some camp to it.
For sure.
The professor is he's almost characteristically evil.
Yeah. And he is an actor from Hammer horror films, right? He played Sir Arthur Holmwood in Dracula, and he also played Alfred Pennyworth in the Batman films, like the Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher ones.
Huh.
So he's known for playing this aristocratic, storied British person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is why he talks so pedantically.
Yeah.
He also was it's Michael Gough. I think it's like a Go, like Van Gogh, right? He also played the Celestial Toymaker from Doctor Who, if you remember the Toymaker. But yeah, he's a fascinating character in that he is so entirely reprehensible, and it's a miracle that anyone likes him, including his homemaker / maybe wife, Margaret. In the credits, she's listed as Margaret Decker. They have the same last name, apparently. Charles Decker and Margaret Decker. It's just that they weren't married in the movie. She's played by Margot Johns, British actor, in a bunch of British stuff. But yeah, it's really weird. The movie has a very strange energy because of the main character they decided to make, he's the protagonist, but he's not the hero. He's the villain for sure, even though he's the protagonist, the point of view character, right?
Yeah.
But because he's so despicable, it has such a weird energy. This is one of those mad scientist films for sure, which we actually haven't seen too many of. We've had one.
Yeah.
And in that case, that wasn't the same kind of mad scientist film because it was a mystery as to who. I guess no, he was more in the film than I'm putting out right now. But he wasn't the main character you're following. Is more what I'm saying, like a Dr. Frankenstein character, where he's the main character you're following as he goes through his foibles of his scientific hubris.
Yeah.
But unlike Dr. Frankenstein, this guy sucks even more.
Also, it's funny you bring up Frankenstein, and because I did a month ago, a couple months ago, actually read that for the first time. It was really interesting, and it's in a lot of ways better than this.
For sure.
Again, part of that might be intentional, because I do think that they were trying to go for a B-movie vibe here. They weren't trying to take it too seriously. But Frankenstein's journey is a lot more interesting and a lot more tragic, whereas this one's just oh yeah, no, this guy's a piece of shit who
this guy deserves it. Die.
He got what he deserved in the end.
Because this guy's just a piece of shit from top to bottom. He's a snake. Yeah. He's a slimy little snake.
He just steals an innocent he steals an innocent monkey to experiment on it and turn it into his assassin to kill all his enemies.
Yeah. And that's part of his grand experiment.
So that he can have his way with his student.
Yeah, which is part of his grand experiment, of course. It's all a part of the plan. But yeah, this film is part of a grand tradition of exploitation films, right? Herman Cohen, the director, had just made Horrors of the Black Museum, a British horror film. I think it was British. Yeah, Anglo amalgamated. which is a UK English like co-production like studio. This is also a UK English co-production, by the way. It's just primarily set in the UK, so and uses UK actors. But he did that, and then Anglo Amalgamated came and said, "Hey, can you make us another exploitation film?" And then Herman Cohen was like, I like King Kong. What if we made that but in color? What if we made a giant ape film but in color this time? And like, so Cohen is like, I think probably primarily known either for this film or for I Was a Teenage Werewolf, which was produced by Herman Cohen, not directed. Oh wait, this one wasn't directed by him either. Sorry, directed by John Lemon. It was produced and written by Herman Cohen. That's what it was. Sorry, produced and written by Herman Cohen. He's the director is John Lemon. But yeah, so Herman Cohen though has this like lineage of exploitation films that pull upon popular trends, like I Was a Teenage Werewolf is pulling on the Wolfman, right? Horrors of the Black Museum, I don't know if it's pulling on anything in the same kind of way. I'm not super familiar with that one. It's just on the list of things he's done, but like, and like that was the last one he had done, and the Anglo Amalgamated came back to him and was like, hey, can you do another thing? But like that's what he's pulling on. So like I think he is part of this like B movie trend. I get heritage. Heritage is the word I'm looking for. Lineage. And so he's just like trying to do King Kong but on the cheap. And when you're making B movies, you usually make them a little silly because you're having fun and you want the audience to have fun and like laugh in the drive-in theater, right? So I think that's what's going on, right?
Yeah.
But sure makes the film rough in places.
Yeah.
Speaking of I Was a Teenage Werewolf, though, because of his success with I Was a Teenage Werewolf, American International Pictures originally ran with the working title of I Was a Teenage Gorilla for this movie. Can I just say, that title would have gone hard.
Yeah.
Eventually, what they ended up doing was paying RKO Pictures $25,000 for the rights to the name of Kong, so they could use for exploitation purposes. I don't know if they had to pay that for the word Konga, but I know they certainly used it for the poster, which says, "Not since King Kong has the screen exploded with such mighty fury and spectacle." So they were definitely like doing an exploitation film of King Kong, which is funny to think of. Speaking of like that budget, the B movie budget of this film was £300,000 or $500,000. As a comparison point, the original King Kong was almost $700,000, and that's in 1930s money and not 1961 money. And the original Godzilla had a budget of about $900,000 in 1950s money. So this is a significantly shorter, tighter budget, and it does show.
You can tell, yeah.
It does show. These effects, okay, before we talk about the effects are actually okay, but the context for that is that there's not a kaiju in the film until the last 10 minutes at most. It's an hour and a half movie. There's not a kaiju until like the last 5 to 10 minutes. It is a guy in a gorilla suit doing murders until then.
Yeah.
It is essentially a Hammer horror film version of the Mad Ape or whatever the fuck that one movie was called, that has Bela Lugosi going around killing people with a monkey. It is essentially that movie, the Crazy Ape, something like that. Is essentially the Hammer horror version of that, except it's not actually technically a Hammer horror. It's just kind of in that tradition a little bit, also in the tradition of other B movies, B movie exploitation films specifically. It's literally a man in a gorilla suit. It's a decent gorilla suit, like the mask moves around a bit, but like it's a gorilla suit, so you can see how like the top hangs over the legs, so there's no like butt. There's no butt at all. It kind of makes the legs look shorter than they are to make the arms look longer, to make it look more like a gorilla, but it's not great at doing that. Instead, it just looks like a guy in a gorilla suit. Like people talk about Godzilla movies being a man in a suit. This is a man in a suit because it's just a gorilla suit you could buy from any costume store, and you could just see that. it doesn't help that the guy who's acting doesn't seem particularly good at acting as a gorilla.
Yeah.
He's just kind of walking around like a man. I don't know if you've ever seen gorillas walk around, but they don't do that. I guess technically he's supposed to be a chimpanzee, but also chimpanzees don't do that either. That's the fucked up thing. He starts as a chimpanzee, and then they give him the growth serum, and now he's a man in a gorilla suit.
Yeah.
It's just like full on a different species now.
Yeah, the whole growth serum thing, I mean, like,
It's because of carnivorous plants, Haru.
yeah, it changed insectivorous plants into carnivorous plants, so, like, it can change a chimp into a gorilla.
It's the serum from them, Haru. If you concentrate the power of insectivorous plants, you can make a giant monkey.
Yeah.
The power of insectivorous plants will make a giant monkey, Haru. That's just science.
Yeah, it's science.
I want to talk about those plants in a second, but first, I do have a quote from Paul Stockman, the band who played Konga, uncredited, by the way, fucked up. But in this in an interview, he revealed how I came to get the part of Konga. My agent told me there was an American producer looking for a 6-foot actor. That would be Cohen. Would I go to Mac's rehearsal room, Leicester Square, London? So I toddled along, I walked into the room, and there's 26-foot tall blokes. I thought, oh dear, it's a lineup. Anyway, the producer, Herman Cohen, came in carrying a big cardboard box. He said, the actor I need must be exactly 6 foot. So if you're 6'1" or 5'11", thank you for coming, but you won't do. So everybody left except for 2 other guys and myself. The producer then opened the cardboard box and took out the gorilla headpiece. He said, now I'd like all 3 of you to put this on because the guy who gets the part will have to wear this 6 to 8 hours a day. So see how you feel with it on. So each put the gorilla head on, and the other 2 had blue eyes, and I've got brown eyes. And we all knew a gorilla has brown eyes. That's how I got the part. So he was literally the only guy they could find to do it.
Wow.
They rented the gorilla suit before they had a guy to play it. And they're just like, we need someone who's exactly 6 feet tall.
With brown eyes.
With brown eyes. And they didn't say that ahead of time.
Yeah.
So they got the one guy. And you know what? He knows that he got the part because of his brown eyes, and he milks the shit out of that. Because he is acting with his eyes the entire time.
Yeah.
He's like constantly staring at the camera wide-eyed, like.
Yeah.
I will say there's also, I believe, if I see it correctly, there is a part because there's these shots where the gorilla face looks slightly different and has much greater expression. I believe those are claymation. I'm pretty sure that's like some, King Kong-esque claymation. Those shots look a lot better. They're funny too because the face looks very different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also just a huge close-up on the face, so it's like it's got very silly vibes to it.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's what's going on with those. But yes, the plants. Haru, tell me about them giant plants.
They've got tongues.
They got tongues. They're made of rubber. Maybe rubber and styrofoam or something.
They're like, I don't know, if you went on like some kind of like Disney ride or
they would have better
something.
plants.
Yeah, like these plants are
like if you went on a Disney ride from the 60s when this movie was made, they would have better plants.
Yeah.
But granted, those plants would be made to be sitting there for forever, while these plants were made for one movie and then probably burned. But it's like, what the fuck? They look so bad.
Yeah. It's the plants weren't good.
They were really not
they were
good.
funny in how they weren't good though.
They're very funny.
Like,
so if you're looking at this as a comedy film, they're really good comedy, especially when one of them grabs the girl's arm and starts eating it. By the way, nothing done about that by the end of the movie. We just have to assume she was eaten by the plants.
Yeah. Like the cops show up at just the right time.
The firefighters, not even cops, because they're just reporting for the fire.
There was a cop.
Oh, was there?
But Yeah, there was a cop in front of the fire truck, but, like, it's your typical, like, police have to come where
Yeah,
there's a fire.
and they're like going for the fire, and who knows if they're
And
gonna
then they see
go.
the gorilla,
They
and
see the gorilla.
meanwhile, she's still being eaten in the greenhouse.
Or they see the gorilla and they just like freeze. They're like, it's like Jurassic Park when the T-Rex comes around. They just freeze. And then the gorilla slowly walks away, again looking like a man. So it's like he like just kind of slowly turns around casually and walks away. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, again, you never see that girl again. We have to assume she was eaten.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, I hate to be a North Carolinian about this. She's eaten by a Venus flytrap. Now, for those who don't know, Venus flytraps are only found in North Carolina. This is their native habitat here in North by God, Carolina. This motherfucker went to Africa to get his plants. Well, he got trapped in Africa after his plane exploded in the stupidest looking fire of all time.
Mhm.
Africa doesn't have Venus flytraps.
That's a good point.
They're North Carolina only. That's our plant. You can't steal it.
I mean, it's not like this movie pays that much attention to
Anything.
what belongs to the region that he supposedly went to.
Yeah, or like whether a chimpanzee and a gorilla are different. Or
Yeah.
like if a botany teacher like would teach be doing research on monkeys or
Mhm.
on or like giving a lecture about the people like he stayed the tribe he stayed with when he was lost in Uganda or anything
Yeah.
else on women. The women in this movie are all written as fucking insane.
Yeah.
But I just had to defend the honor of North Carolina and its Venus flytraps.
Mhm.
If you've ever owned a Venus flytrap, you can thank North Carolina and our swamps. Dun, 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 dun.
I've killed many Venus flytraps
That's fucked up.
in
They're endangered, Haru.
in Pirates Online. They're an enemy that you have to fight in the Caribbean.
They don't live there, Haru.
Tell that to Disney.
I will. I'm ringing them up right now. Fuck the podcast. I'm going. I'm gonna get them to send me a giant Venus flytrap that looks better than the ones in this movie. But yeah. Other than those effects, though, like the overlaid fire, some of these screening effects don't look so hot. Like they get a little bit ghosty,
Mhm.
but because they do them all at nighttime in this 10-minute scene, they don't look as bad as they could. The
There was
nighttime helps hide it.
there was one time where they had a screening effect that wasn't masked by the nighttime, and that was, like, in the basement.
Oh yeah, the screening effects where they're showing the monkey growing are all unique, like horrible. Those are all really, really bad. Any screening effect that happens during the day, that and the fireball when the doctor crashes his plane, those
Mhm.
all look miserable.
Yeah.
And not that they're cut out bad, it's just that they are doing a bad job of making them look like they actually belong in the scene that they're in.
Mhm.
Whereas with the nighttime scene, they do a bad job cutting it out. Well, it does actually relatively look like it belongs in the scene it is in.
Yeah.
But because it's nighttime, it kind of covers that up a little bit, which is helpful. And of course, there's also the issue of the miniatures mostly look good, but then there's the miniatures for the people,
Yeah.
which are dolls.
And they're not even good dolls.
They're not good. They're very obviously dolls. They're like Raggedy
Yeah.
Ann ass dolls
Mhm.
of these actors.
Yeah, it's
I hope
not
they got to
even
keep
like
their doll of themselves.
Yeah.
I would love to
Yeah,
keep that.
they're not even, like, action figures that are well sculpted. It's literally just, like, you could go to, like, I don't know, Hobby Lobby and get one.
Maybe. Do you think they work as functioning voodoo dolls? Can you like poke one and you'll feel it? I hope not, because they did throw those dolls around quite a bit.
Yeah.
But in addition to the dolls looking bad, the way that they put the dolls into the scene, or like not the dolls, but like they had the dolls in some scenes where they couldn't screen it very well because they're like throwing them or whatever.
Mhm.
When they weren't doing that, instead they had Paul, the man playing Konga, stand very still, very stiff, while he held up his hand. Then they layered the actor on top of the hand, very stiff and still, so as to not, make it easier on themselves. And then on top
Mhm.
of that, they layered Konga's fingers as a separate layer that you can really easily see as a separate layer. It's rough. It's really
Yeah.
rough. Every scene where you could see him holding the guy or the gal looks so bad.
Yeah, and it's one of those effects where, like, we've seen in other movies, if
Done
they
better.
can't get if they can't get that effect very good, they just won't do it very much, but this movie is
Does it
like, it
so
needs to
much.
happen. We have, because 'cause we're copying King Kong, so we have to have the monkey pick someone up.
Yeah, and you just like carry them around London for no reason. It's
Yeah.
it's insane how long Konga just walks around London aimlessly. There's just like there's no purpose for it to do this. It's just doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
It occasionally swats at people, but otherwise it's just kind of wandering.
Yeah, like, there's the motive for Konga in the rampage scene is, like, I mean, he's not even really
Like
rampaging,
that's the
he's
problem,
just
is that part of it is that he's really nonchalant about it. Like that's part of the issue,
yeah,
is it feels like he has no motive because he's incredibly nonchalant about it, because they can't have the guy in the gorilla suit actually act crazy, because then the gorilla suit looks even more fake. And it makes it hard to
yeah,
do the screening effect on the actor in the hand.
and so we basically just have a giant gorilla just, like, going for a stroll in London.
Like literally, however, like think about the last time someone was walking in front of you a little too slow. That's how slow he's walking.
Uh-huh.
It's like, how there's always someone walking in front of you way too slow when you're walking down the street in the city? That's this guy. Except he's a
Yeah.
giant gorilla. And you're always like, why are you walking so slow? It's because he's holding a guy in his hand. Maybe think about that
Yeah.
next time. So the effects in this one are just across the board pretty rough, except for the miniatures on the house. I think the miniatures on the house, and like again, the gorilla suit looks fine for what it is. And if that really is claymation, like I think it is, or some sort of stop motion animation, that looked pretty good. And then
Mhm.
the miniature work on the house when Konga busts out of that looks pretty good. I like those
Yeah.
effects. Those are all pretty decent. But yeah, that's basically it. The rest of it's kind of, and some of the screening effects during the London night scene are mostly fine, except for that one shot where it starts to get ghosty. It's
Mhm.
good mix of good effects, mix of some really bad effects. The acting, I will say, I kind of like in a cheesy kind of way.
Yeah, it's over the top, but it, like we've mentioned, it's kind of supposed to.
Yeah, it's very Hammer horror action or acting. If you've ever seen a Hammer
Mhm.
horror film, it's like it's that. It's that. Michael Gough is just going like ham on that posh accent.
Mhm.
You won't interfere with my experiment.
Yeah, like, he does a decent job at just leaning into that role.
Yeah, he's got those Capaldi eyebrows that help him feel like evil and intimidating while being like a posh British professor type.
Mhm.
He manages to pull off both thanks to his Capaldi eyebrows. Granted, there's not actually a whole lot of other characters. Actually, now that I think about it,
Yeah.
it's really just him and Margot John's playing off each other.
Mhm.
Dr. Decker and Mrs. Decker, I guess technically, according to the credits. The rest of the characters are either fodder to be killed or secondary bit characters, and there's only like a few actors. I guess there's technically the inspector and like the detectives, but they don't fucking matter.
They don't really play a big role.
Like they're like, it's like Chekhov's detective agency. Chekhov's
Yeah.
police department. They're trying to investigate the murders, and you keep getting cuts to them investigating. They're like, or they'll interview Decker once, Dr. Decker once, so you get the tension of him having to lie to them about, what he doesn't actually lie. He just tells half truths. He omits
Mhm.
the truth, right? Well, no, he does lie straight up about what they were talking about. Now that I think about it, he lies that
Yeah.
they weren't having an argument. He was saying it was a healthy discussion because we scientists are above such petty displays.
Yeah.
But like outside of that, what you get from these detectives is just cutting back to them going, well, there's no evidence of who did this except for some animal hairs. So I guess we really have no clue. And they just do that like 3 times for each of the 3 murders. And then the whole thing solves itself for them.
Yeah,
They do call the military, I suppose. They call the military in to kill Konga.
Yeah, more or less, it just seems like they're kind of there because, of course, they're there because they're investigating a murder.
Yep.
But
You got to have cops investigate a murder, and it takes up some of the runtime
yeah,
where you don't have to do any effects.
but yeah, no, they like don't really do anything.
No, not really.
I guess yeah, like there's Bob who like gets some he only gets like one good scene, and that's like the scene before like the scene where they go on the field trip.
Oh yeah, the weird. You know how college groups always take field trips, and the kids sit in the back of the professor's truck as he takes them out to the forest. You know that old thing.
Uh-huh. Also, did you notice that so he didn't shut the door all the way when he went to go visit that other scientist. He
Mm-hmm.
also didn't shut the door to his truck all the way when he put the kids in there.
Oh, maybe it wasn't just him trying to leave the door open for the gorilla who definitely could have broken it down. Instead, he just chronically leaves doors open.
Yeah.
He just has a habit of leaving doors open for some reason. He's just a freak.
Yeah, I noticed that like I was watching, he went to like go shut the door and it wasn't shut all the way, and I'm just like, okay, he's leaving them in there for the gorilla to get to them. Ah.
Ah,
No, he just
this
doesn't
time
know
I'll
how to
kill my
close.
entire class. That will
That
prove
won't
my
trace
experiment
back
a
to him.
success.
Yeah, no, that he doesn't know how to close doors.
He just doesn't know how to
Um
close doors. He doesn't know the theory behind them. He's been in Africa for a year, so he doesn't remember how doors work.
Yeah.
Because he was in a remote tribe in Uganda,
Mhm.
so he forgot how doors work.
Yeah.
This film is so weird in some ways. It does have that like fun British film fast-paced back and forth banter though, so that's kind of
Mhm.
neat. Like you will have fun watching this movie, and the colors are nice and saturated too, so you get a nice visual display even if like the film doesn't look great otherwise. Like its
Yeah.
effects don't look great, the colors are nice.
Mhm.
But yeah, it is. Despite the fact that I love this stupid fucking like the extreme posh, maybe even overacting, perhaps overacting of our main guy. Because of the overacting, it feels insane that anyone likes him at all.
Yeah, like he's just comic book villain, just
He's like
very
constantly
distinctly
talking about
evil.
eugenics.
He literally murders a cat.
He literally murders a cat, and then he makes a monkey grow big, and so then his would-be wife goes, "Oh, I get it. I understand everything now." Do you?
And like he's so half-hearted when he tells her that he's gonna marry her. Like
How does she
I
not know
didn't
that he's
buy
going behind her back?
I didn't buy that. How did she buy that?
I like how like constantly throughout the film she's like, "Hey, you killed someone with a monkey. What the fuck?" And then he's like, "What are you gonna do about it?" And then she's like, "Well, I love you, so nothing."
Yeah.
What? Huh? What? And I'm not trying to be like CinemaSins ding on this. I'm talking about like women aren't like this.
Yeah.
Not often. Some of them are.
Yeah,
And maybe it's a
there
commentary on the British housewife and their willingness to go along with upper middle class, like upper class British wife, right? And their willingness to go along with the horrors of the British Empire.
yeah, and, they have been in each other's lives for a while, so maybe she's just used to his antics at this point.
But also, he
Like, "Oh,
refuses to marry
that's
her.
just"
So, like,
Yeah.
until the exact moment where it's convenient for him to do so. Like she literally has to threaten him to get him to marry her.
Yeah. Like,
Girl,
there's I don't even know what she even sees in him, like
he's not particularly attractive because he's very old compared to her, seemingly. He's got those
yeah.
eyebrows though. He does have those eyebrows, those Capaldi eyebrows. He's got them, and those are pretty good. But other than that, he's like a horrible little man. The meanest fucking guy. All he talks about is his studies and how great he is and how
Also,
stupid you are.
yeah, when he first when he first, returns home and he's, like, they're talking in the living room, and he's like, "Oh, I miss this house, and I missed, like, air
My
conditioning."
experiments.
And she's like, but you didn't say you missed me." And he's like, "Oh, of course I missed you. You're my best friend." And then she's like, "Gosh, you basically just insulted me by calling me your friend."
He did the fucking he did the Yuri bait.
Yeah.
He did he did the way every Yuri bait anime ends. You're my best friend. What?
Yeah.
What? He kills a guy because he thinks the guy might beat him to the punch on the same discovery, the same scientific discovery.
Yeah, that one I like, at that point, they're just trying to lean into how evil he is, because I genuinely can't think of, like, an actual distinct because, like, okay, sure, maybe the other guy's gonna discover the same serum, but he's not gonna go insane and make a murder monkey.
Also, can we talk about this guy, Doctor whatever the fuck his name is? What was his name? Tagore, Dr. Tagore.
Mhm,
I don't know what his accent was supposed to be. I think he's supposed to be from India, but the accent didn't necessarily sound that way. But I'm not. There might be some Indian accents I'm not familiar with. Right? It's a huge
mhm,
continent, subcontinent, and it's got a lot of different cultures in it. So there's potentially tons of different accents, especially with the imposition of British imperialism, which this guy
mhm,
is clearly benefiting from by being a professor in England, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on there that I don't know necessarily. Whatever. He's got like a turban on that has a jewel on it.
mhm.
I don't know if this is racist or not. Whatever. That's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is Dr. Decker, our main guy, our main evil little man, is like absolutely certain that these carnivorous plants, insectivorous plants from Uganda are the only plants in the world that are like this and can do this and make this super monkey serum. But also, this random other professor studied in Calcutta and found the same thing. Now, I don't know if you know much about geography, Haru, but Calcutta and Uganda are not particularly close to each other.
Uh-huh.
They have slightly different environments, and they might both. I don't actually know. Could you find elephants in Uganda? I don't know how far the range of elephants goes. You can find elephants in India, but they're a different type of elephant. I'm literally looking up. It doesn't matter at all, but I'm looking it up. Yes, Uganda has 5,000 elephants. So yeah, there's elephants in both, but I don't think that necessarily means that there's going to be the same kind of carnivorous, insectivorous plants in both, right?
Mhm.
What the fuck is going on? Is basically what I'm saying. What?
Yeah,
It feels very not carefully written, perhaps.
yeah, I mean, again, this movie doesn't really care
No,
about
it
facts.
doesn't really care about much of anything, as far as I can tell.
Also, like, what was even the point of the serum? Like,
Make monkey big.
what even is the discovery here? Just like we
Make
now
monkey
know
big.
how to we now know how to make big monkeys?
Make
Like,
monkey big, and you can control monkey. Make monkey big,
uh,
and you control monkey. That's an important
yeah.
part of. I think maybe that's the unique part of the Ugandan plants is that you can control monkey.
Uh-huh.
You make monkey big and you control monkey. If that's the case, why haven't the Ugandans been making big monkey that you can control?
Well, you see, they don't have the British mindset.
They don't have the beakers and the syringes.
Yeah.
I understand now. They don't have the test tubes and the Erlenmeyer flasks and
They do have witch doctors that have science that have medical science way beyond what we've discovered in the West,
That's true.
though.
They just can't make monkey big. They can only control the monkey.
Yeah.
And they can control snakes. And so they can make snakes that are they can make snakes into king cobras and then back into normal snakes. Because all that stock footage was from all over the goddamn world.
Yeah.
I swear to
Just
God, they show like several different tribes, and I'm almost certain of it, and also some king cobras from India. It's crazy.
they were basically just search up any stock footage with
Hey, can you raid the BBC stock footage storage real quick?
yeah. Anyone with black or brown skin in it, just slap it on there.
Even if not, we can cut around them and just show the snakes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the fact that the doctor, the professor, is he has the hots for his student, and so he murders her
Yeah.
boyfriend with the monkey. He does a monkey murder on her boyfriend.
Mhm.
He does a monkey murder on her, Haru.
Yeah.
He does a monkey murder.
Yeah, right after he stops by dinner and then his family has a chat with him, which
And his dad
was
says, as the Americans say, play it cool.
that was actually kind of one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie.
It
Mostly,
certainly lends credence to the B movie aspect of the film, right?
yeah, like it's got the whole, all the actors overplaying their lines and
Hey, I'm the dad
oh
character. Hey, I'm the mom character. Hey, I'm the sister character. Hey, I'm the little kid character. Like they might as well have said that.
yeah. That said, I loved the little kids like
I hate love.
he doesn't believe in he doesn't like all this lovey-dovey bullshit. He doesn't know what's going on.
And then the dad, the dad's like, "There's no girl that's worth losing dinner over." And the kid's like, "Yeah, yeah."
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And it is
And
so
then
corny that it really does lend to that B movie aspect. And then he
yeah.
gets immediately killed right outside their house, but nobody sees the gorilla run away.
Yeah. Well, you see, it was nighttime, the gorilla is black, so like
Oh, and it was perfectly planned by the doctor, so it couldn't have
mhm.
been caught
Yeah, no, he planned out every single one of those murders.
to a T.
Like
100%, he planned them perfectly.
he
He didn't just
knew what
randomly
he
send a
was
gorilla after
doing.
people on a whim. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, he might be a botanist, but he's definitely he's this guy's got more to him. He's a very complex character.
And then he goes to have breakfast the next day, and his would-be wife goes, "What are you having with your poached egg? Murder?" And at that
Yeah.
moment, I was like, maybe this movie is good, actually. It's, again, I'm of two minds. The movie is dreadful in some ways. It's really gross about the doctor's just really gross to watch.
Yeah.
But you love to hate him.
Mhm.
Let me just read
Yeah.
through all the notes I wrote about him. Creepy, die, 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 kill this man.
Yeah.
Die, 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 kill, die. Fuck you, die, kill. Gross, kill, die, you. That's what I wrote about him
Mhm.
on multiple occasions. I skimmed through a bunch of notes in between. Those are multiple occasions I said this.
I mean, when we first get introduced to his character, he's basically, I'm glad my plane crashed.
I'm actually glad my plane crashed because it created opportunity for me to increase my research.
Yeah. And he's always going off about his research, almost to the point where I almost doubted myself of maybe he doesn't have the hots for this student and he's just literally that involved in his research and that excited that she's interested. But no, he's a creep and
Dude, the scene where he's by the way, if you're like sensitive to sexual assault, this film has it, so don't watch it
mhm.
probably. But the scene where he's sexually assaulting her is like, it's gonna sound weird, it's very comedic. The way like he's going at her like a fucking wolf, like a cartoon wolf.
Yeah.
He's going like he's like The faces he's making trying to smooch on her is crazy. He's like, hey, let me smooch on. Maybe I'll try smooching on your shoulder. How about that? That maybe that'll get me somewhere. Meanwhile, Konga's watching in the distance, waiting for the opportune moment to smash in and grab him, and then walk aimlessly through the city. Real comedy of errors that she goes from sexual assault to seeing a giant monkey to getting her arm trapped in a giant Venus flytrap.
Yeah.
Poor girl.
And it's literally the night after her boyfriend
Yeah,
got
that's
killed.
true too. I forgot about him because he was very bland.
Yeah.
Unlike the other kids in this class who are all listening to that cool jazz music. They're hip and happening.
Yeah. We love the character the student who just has a radio on him at all
constantly
times.
turns it to the same jazz station that's playing the same jazz song. And it kind of sounds like yakety sax. Yakety yak, don't talk back. Boise. I know yakety sax is a different song. I'm sorry. I did the two of them together. But yeah, these characters are very corny in many ways. Every single one of them is a different type of corny character, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. This is going to make a huge contrast with our next film, Gorgo, by the way, which is also a British film, a British kaiju film in the same year, in the same month. Has other similarities too, we'll get into later. But it's really funny, actually, that it's such a... In this one way, they're going to be so different because a lot of the characters in Gorgo are more like down to earth, very realistic in a lot of ways. Whereas here, they are hamming it up. It is hammer horror hamminess. Want to talk about themes?
Sure.
Scientists are evil. That's the theme of this movie.
Yeah.
I actually think you can wring something out of this. I don't think it's an intentional film or theme. To be clear, I don't think it's an intentional theme. But the fact that, again, this guy, Dr. Decker, has such a posh-ass accent. He is used to getting his way all the fucking time. He goes to Africa, exploits a resource, and comes back and thinks he's God. And this woman stands by him despite all this. Despite how horrible he treats her. And there's something in there about like the way the British, upper crust treats the world, right?
Yeah. It is basically kind of just a story as old as
King Kong.
colonialism, basically, where like, white person goes to where brown people live, finds some discovery, brings it back, and it's basically what we had with King Kong, just
Tale as old as Kong.
yeah. Yeah, it basically is. It's
like an indirect Kong. He brings back the serum to make the Kong instead of bringing back the Kong itself.
Yeah, he doesn't bring back the literal god of an indigenous tribe, but he brings back
their medicine,
a monkey,
their magic medicine.
Yeah, and their magic medicine that he learned from witch doctors. And he just feels so... First of all, he feels so right in that, like, he is correct and
About
everyone else is
everything.
wrong. And two, he feels so powerful. Like, he feels unstoppable.
He feels like he has a right to it too. And like I think an important part of an important example of this is like the scene where he's pushing himself on his student, and she's like, I'm not... She's at this point, she's still refusing his she's framing it to be kind to him, I guess. To maybe just try and calm the situation down. She's framing it as like she doesn't want to be his lab assistant because that's how he framed it to her while assaulting her. And she's like, I can't be your lab assistant. I have so much studying left to do. Right? She's framing it that way instead of like as a subtle with when you spell subtle like this subtle. Like saying that she's not ready. She's not ready for that kind of relationship with him, especially, right? Because of her age, but he's framing it in the terms of assistant. But what she says that he says, let me be the judge of that, because he can't imagine anyone else being the judge of anything.
Yeah,
especially not themselves. And I think that's a really good example of what you're talking about, Haru. Not to mention he's also like constantly saying eugenics shit. He's like constantly talking,
Yeah.
this is the next stage of evolution. He's like, that's what he's always framing his research as, like, this is the next stage of evolution,
Yeah, he's
which is
I
people
mean,
controlling big monkeys, apparently.
and it kind of going back to the first thing you said with themes of scientists are evil, like, It there I don't think it's not necessarily like all science is evil, but the way
Hmm.
he approaches science as like just the ends to all means, like all that matters in life is improving science and finding that next discovery, that next step in evolution is
And
and
only
like
he can do it.
yeah, only he
If
can do
someone
it.
else tries to do it, he doesn't want that. It has to
Yeah,
be him.
it's
And
not
I guess he was willing to let. I think he was potentially willing to let Togger die or live if he teamed up with him, but it has to be him.
yeah, it's like it's not even just being open to like I don't think he's really that open to being collaborative about it but he like on one hand he was thrilled to find out that like oh we I have found someone else who like literally the only other person in the world that I know of right now who's doing the same kind of research that I am. And then he does kind of try to offer that olive branch of like, hey, what if we work together on this? And the other scientist is like, I'm gonna kind of do my own thing. And he's like, well,
Well,
how dare you not include me?
yeah, he's talking about like the collaborative nature of science, but like he's never collaborative with anyone.
Hmm.
He only uses it as a cudgel against others.
Yeah, he's if anything, yeah, if anything, I think he didn't care whether or not he was able to collaborate with the other guy. He just wanted to like
Be in
see
control.
his work and
It's
maybe
potential
like
that he was going to kill him regardless. It's potential.
yeah.
The final shot of the film is Dr. Decker, and Konga, the now turned back into a chimp somehow, sitting, laying next to each other somehow. Like, Konga throws Dr. Decker at the army, and he, like, lands on the ground dead. And by dead, I mean he has a couple of spots of blood around his lips, and you just have to assume he's dead
Hmm.
from there because he fell so far. Apparently, with falling, this also happened to the woman when he throws her, Miss Decker. Apparently, when you throw someone from a height, they just kind of get a little bit of blood on their mouth.
I mean, that's just how death works in this movie. Like
That's
every
true.
single character, including
Just
the
has a little
cat.
blood on her mouth. That's true, because that happens to that happens to the cat. That happens to Bob. The only way they know how to explain to show death is just a couple spots of blood on the mouth.
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyways, so he throws them, and then he dies because at this point the army just shoots him to death. Konga
Hmm.
is not a particularly successful kaiju.
Yeah.
Konga just gets shot to death.
And it
Uh,
does take a lot of bullets.
It does, and some artillery, or not artillery, bazookas.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know, Godzilla would have tanked that shit.
Hmm.
I guess King Kong wouldn't have, but at least King Kong fell from a great height in addition to being hit by the bullets.
Yeah.
And this one, I guess technically Konga falls from a great height because they are a great height, but they're definitely dying from the bullets and the bazookas.
Hmm.
Anyways, they fall down and then shrink, and somehow this ends with them laying next to the professor. I don't know how to explain how that works. I have no idea in my mind. But you can only imagine that the framing of them together like that, one facing one way, one facing the other way, they're parallel, but they're going different directions, means something, right?
Hmm.
It's a poignant moment, I suppose, at the very least. Just evil master and his creation lying next to each other, dead. But I think it's interesting that they're pointed in different directions and lying with their arms spread open like that, kind of a Jesus-y-ish pose. Very a spiritual-ish pose, right? Because Konga is an animal brought from Africa to England, turned into a monster, and the professor is a man from England that also becomes a monster. And so they're coming at the same place they're from different directions
Mm-hmm.
in a way, which is it's that's what the imagery kind of says to me a little bit, because like
Yeah.
when you think about it, the way your arms lay when you're like that, it kind of makes an arrow. Actually, I don't think that's intentional, but it's a fun read.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely see your point. I could tell that they were trying to get something out of that final scene, cause I
Because they
mean,
linger on it.
it's yeah, and like it is like we in like one of the first scenes in the movie, other than like the plane crash and stuff. We see our professor with his monkey, and then in the final scene in the movie, they're both lying dead next to each other. And like in a sense, it kind of brings it all full circle in a tragic sort of way. But everything else that was going on in the scene at the time just kind of made it fall flat for me.
Why is that, Haru?
Uh, like for one, it took a really long time for Konga to die.
They use the
Um,
same few shots over and over again. It's crazy.
and then two, the biggest jerk of the entire movie doesn't even really get a satisfying death because Konga just sort of tosses him and he ends up on the ground dead. Like
He
there,
spends the last 10 minutes of the movie just going, Konga, put me down.
yeah. And
And
so
that's
like
it. He doesn't really get a comeuppance. He just dies.
yeah, he doesn't get what's coming to him. It's just like, okay, he's dead now.
He doesn't die because of his hubris. He just dies. But he does die in for his hubris in a way. But the way it feels though is that he just dies.
Mm,
There's a little bit of that
yeah.
irony to it, but there's just I feel like they could have done so much more to wring that irony out more.
Mm-hmm.
Like the irony is there, you can see it. It's not hidden or anything. It's just not emphasized.
Mm-hmm.
And there is another reason, of course, Haru. There's another reason why it doesn't fall it falls kind of flat. And it's because they do the same thing that King Kong does, which is have a whole bunch of sad onlookers. But unlike King Kong, what the fuck do these people know? These people don't know shit. The only people who know anything about this are dead.
Like in King Kong, he was brought back to New York as a spectacle
The
of,
eighth
and
wonder
like
of the world. Everyone knew King Kong was there.
everyone
And
knew
why?
about him and like had gone to go see him at the circus or whatever.
And there was a bunch of people there who knew intimate details of it, so they could go, was Beauty who killed the beast, right?
Yeah.
It was Beauty
And
killed the beast.
this one, no one knew anything about any monkey until they literally saw it rampaging through the streets of London. No one knows why it was rampaging. It was holding a guy.
The only people who know any goddamn thing of it are the two Deckers, Decker 1 and Decker 2, and they're both dead. Even the girl doesn't know anything about it. She's dead too. I assume, eaten by a plant again.
Yeah.
I don't know how it got the rest of her in there, but it was pulling her in there last we saw.
Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah, it doesn't.
Like, you have the sad onlookers, but it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
There's no emotion in what they're looking at. They're just kind of like, huh, what the fuck? What the fuck happened? Why did that giant monkey turn into a chimpanzee?
Mm-hmm.
Why was it holding this guy?
Maybe
some of them know the guy's name even. That's about all you could ask.
Yeah. This is kind of just a little nitpick of the last scene, but like they're all running away from the gorilla as he's rampaging, and then he kind of just stops for no apparent reason. Like
I thought they were gonna show like a light beaming on him, and it was like the light they were using to mind control him. But
like,
no,
that's kind of like I saw the light from Big Ben and like, oh, is that shining in his eyes? But no, that
it's shining behind
wasn't
him.
happening. And then someone's just like, hey, look, he stopped moving.
Let's all stand here and watch. It's so weird.
The whole ending just
The
didn't
last
really
10
work.
minutes are the only bit of kaiju in the film, and they're also the strangest 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. It's trying to give a payoff that I think is maybe unearned.
Yeah, yeah. But it is, I think, it's kind of a fun movie if you go in with the mindset that you're watching a B movie.
Mhm,
It's got a lot of the same charms that Hammer horror films do, although I'd say a worse overall experience than a Hammer horror.
mhm.
Because they have better production quality. That feels weird to say, but they do. But like, if you want to see a Hammer horror with a guy in a giant gorilla, like a giant guy in a gorilla suit, where else are you gonna go? This is the only
Good
thing that's even
point.
close to that.
Yeah. This is the one where they found the 6-foot-tall guy with brown eyes.
Again, not an actual horror film, but it does feel like one in some ways.
Mhm.
What do you think about the music?
The music was decent.
Yeah, I thought it felt kind of kaiju-ish even, which
Yeah,
is
it fit
surprising.
the movie pretty well.
That was by Gerard Sherman, who also did Lawrence of Arabia next year in our timeline.
Okay.
That's 1962. He did the Lawrence of Arabia track. Goddamn. Literally in 1 year from our timeline. But I liked his music quite a bit in this film. I
Yeah.
thought it fit pretty well. Actually, probably was better than the movie it was in.
Yeah.
I got one last thing to talk about that's like barely related. So if you have anything else to say about the movie itself, let's go ahead and get that out.
No, I think I've talked about all my points.
Okay. I've talked about all of mine as well, I believe. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. We got to talk about the comic. So Konga got a adaptation in comic form by Charlton Comics. You know Charlton?
It sounds familiar.
Charlton Comics was not, obviously it's not DC or Marvel, so
Mhm.
it wasn't particularly large, but it was ubiquitous, I guess. They put out a lot of really cheap comics, and just a ton of them. They weren't, some of them are okay. But that's mainly because of the people that they were hiring, including former Marvel artist Steve Ditko, co-creator of Spider-Man. And that's where characters well, okay, technically Blue Beetle came from like a different comic company, but Blue Beetle ended up at Charlton. The Question ended up at was a Charlton creation by Steve Ditko. And there's a couple of other things as well that Charlton had. That eventually ended up in the DC universe. They were brought in during Crisis on Infinite Earth. But Konga wasn't. But Charlton did a comic book adaptation of the Konga film. And apparently the adaptation was popular enough that they made a whole run of it, 24 issues, featuring the continuing adventures of Konga.
Okay.
I don't know how you continue the film from the ending point where they kill Konga.
So, wait, is it just like is it a sequel to the movie
No,
or is
they
it
add
just
the first issue adapts the movie as is.
huh? So do they like just go back to Uganda or
Wait a minute. 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 The comic actually significantly changes the plot. They make Decker the good guy.
What?
Well, oh, what? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What? What? He, instead of in the film, he tells the monkey to kill people, right?
Hmm.
In the comic, he is unknowingly doing it via telepathy.
Wait.
He unknowingly tells Konga to kill people via telepathy, and he because of that he goes and saves Bob before he dies. He's not after Sandra at all. They removed that part entirely. Probably a good call, actually.
Hmm.
And the assistant injects Konga out of jealousy in the film. In the comic, Konga injects himself to make himself bigger, and he dies to military artillery instead of machine guns. And the Deckers still die, but they're killed by Konga when he outgrew the house, both of them. And then the rest of the series is the continuing adventures of Bob and Sandra and Konga, who I guess is no longer psychically jealous of them. What? Comics are so weird. Comics are so bizarre. But if you want to if you want to read the Konga comics, they are public domain. You can go read them online.
Yay.
Yippee, 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 yippee. This is the synopsis for issue 2 where they continue the story. This is the synopsis. After the death of Dr. Decker, his assistant Sandra's husband, Bob Stanley. By the way, Sandra just becomes his assistant. There's no creepy stuff involved in this one. Continues his work in a lab in Australia. Now, Bob is like, we're doing lab work now, despite the fact he was just doing okay in schools before. He recreates the growth serum. Why? And injects it into Sandra's pet monkey, who is named Konga after a previous monkey that Decker experimented on. It's a different monkey. It's a different Konga. Why would you name it after the murderous gorilla? Sure. Why would you recreate the serum?
2 or something like that.
This new Konga turns into a gorilla and then grows into a giant. Eventually, Konga is taken out to sea in a freighter which sinks during a typhoon. Konga comes ashore on a prehistoric island and battles and slays a Tyrannosaurus before the island is destroyed by a volcanic eruption. How do you continue that? What? After surviving the explosion of the previous island he was on, Konga swims south and comes ashore on a new island where the natives worship a huge sea dragon. Konga battles and slays it. Okay, so they just abandoned the humans entirely after that point. It's just Konga doing bullshit.
Konga fighting other kaijus.
It's Konga 2. It's battling a bunch of shit. Okay, no, the Bob and Sandra. No. Bob and Sandra do come back into the picture in episode 4. As they learn that where Konga is and head to the island with the formula to shrink him back to normal size. Why did you make the formula in the first place? As they arrive, the island is invaded by Nazis who accidentally take the serum and shrink to the size of insects, just as Konga destroys a U-boat containing a very alive Adolf Hitler.
What the fuck?
1961. What are you doing? What are we doing here? What is going on?
Literally didn't see that coming.
Whoa, that's crazy. And remember how I said that there was another thing that Konga and Gorgo had in common earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing they have in common is that Gorgo also has a Charlton Comics run.
Huh.
Apparently, Charlton was just getting a bunch of these like cheaper monsters as things they could license, including Konga, Gorgo, and a later thing we'll be watching, the Denmark kaiju film Reptilicus. Holy moly, I was not expecting that rabbit hole. I was expecting to just talk about how funny it is that there's a Charlton comic based on this movie that has a very definitive ending. And Steve Ditko did the art for it, for a lot of those issues.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not expecting that when I started this rabbit hole. Holy moly. Comics, everyone. Comics. Oh, Boise.
Comics.
Comic books. Well, as I've said multiple times at this point, next 2 weeks, unless we get another episode late again, oops, will be Gorgo. Gorgo, the British kaiju film, more in line with Godzilla than King Kong like this one was. So it should be better, right? And then after Gorgo, we get Mothra. So
yay.
Even if Gorgo isn't good, which I've seen Gorgo a lot of times. I'm sure a lot of people in the audience have as well. I think it's pretty fun. But we'll see what you think. But then we have Mothra after that, even if it isn't good. Oh man, and it's Mothra, and it's Gorath, and it's got King Kong versus Godzilla. That's right, baby. Godzilla's coming back.
Yay.
And then we'll fucking watch King Kong versus Godzilla again, but the American version. The American version is really bad, Haru. I cannot wait to let you experience the anguish. But Gorgo next time. Gorgo next time. All right, Haru, you ready to head out?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to check out the podcast on the YouTube channel, ThemPod Iain, or on any podcast app, as you know, just the Kaijus in the Details. That's the name of the podcast. You can send all your friends to it and help the podcast grow. It's the only way that podcasts grow, is by word of mouth, or maybe a YouTube algorithm if you're very kind and click the like and share and all that stuff. Haru, where can people find you?
I am Haru Hayes, a puppy girl VTuber. You can find me on Twitch over at twitch.tv/Haru Hayes, and you can find me on Blue Sky. Just search up Haru Hayes, and yeah.
And I'm Thempire, and you can find me at thempire.neocities.org, my website where you can find all the places that I'm at, including my YouTube channels, one of which, my main one, is a video essay repository where I have videos on the kaiju film. or other things as well if you're into the rest of the otaku sphere. Haru, are you ready to say goodbye to Konga?
Yeah.
Sayonara, Konga.
Sayonara, Konga.
You know, we should make a knockoff Iain called Iana and a knockoff Haru called Harua. I think that'd be a good idea. Let's get on that.